Hello, today we'll be discussing the topic we shall be treating today is a quadratic equation using completing the square method. So we want to be solving quadratic equation. All the equations that we shall be solving today is going to be quadratic equation based using completing the square method. Of course, you know that you can solve quadratic equation using factorization method. You can solve using algebraic almighty formula method, and the one that we are peculiar about today is completing the square method. So the first type of equation that you can do you can solve is with completing the square method, and those one that the coefficient of x square is 1. For instance, this equation x square the equation x square plus 4x plus 1 is equals to 0. So this type of equation, you know that x has no coefficient. Is as easy as using completing the square method. So the first step that we are going to do is that you move the coefficient to the right hand side. So you move the coefficient the constant to the right hand side. So it means that x square plus 4x plus 1 minus 1, by adding minus 1 to the right hand side and the left hand side, 0 minus 1. So we changed all the equation to x square plus 4x is equals to minus 1. So we are now having x square plus 4x equals minus 1. So the next thing is that, having done that, the coefficient of x, which is 4, you now take half of it. You know that the coefficient of 4x here is 4, and half of 4 is 2. So you square it and add it to both the right hand side and the left hand side. So we are now having x square So we are now going to have x square plus 4x plus 2 square equals minus 1 plus 2 square. So the next thing that we are going to do is that we are going to get rid of this 4x. You know that since the coefficient of 4x is 4 and half of it is 2, so you mean that you are going to just make something like this. You know that x here, you take x here, you take this plus 2 and you put square on top, is equals to minus 1. 2 square is equals to 4, so is equals to minus 1 plus 4, so it's going to give you plus 3. So it means that x plus 2 square is going to give you 3. So what you are now going to do, the next step is that you are going to find the square root of both right hand and left hand side. So take the square root of both right hand side and left hand side. So it means that the square root of both right hand side, the square root of left hand side is going to give us x plus 2 is equals to, while the square root of this, you know that the 3 is not a perfect square, so you just leave it as plus or minus root of 3. So now to get the value of x, it's going to be x is equals to, if you take the 2 to this side, this is plus 2. On getting over to the equality sign, it's going to change to minus 2 plus or minus root of 3. So the two, you know that quadratic equation normally has two values. So now let's sort the two values of the equation we are solving. So the first value is going to give us x equals minus 2 plus root of 3, or minus 2 minus root of 3, and that is that. So we also have another question to solve on completing. I told you that the questions are varied. There are some that you will get that you need to adjust the equation before you delve into it properly. So we have another one like x square. This one is like the one I finished solving, plus 6x plus 8 is equals to 0. So what's going to happen is that, like the other one too, what you are going to do is that you take this constant 8, these are a constant or constant, you take it to the right hand side. So we are going to have x squared plus 6x equals minus 8. So the coefficient of our x here is 6. So what is half of it? 6. Half of 6 is 3. So you square it and add it to both sides. So we are going to have x squared plus 6x plus 3 square is equals to minus 8 plus 3 square. So we want to factorize it. Take this plus 3. So we are going to have x squared, x plus 3 square is equals to minus 8 plus 3 square is 9. So minus 8 plus 3 is going to give us 1 plus 1. So now what the next step is that we are going to find the square root of both sides. The square root of both sides of x plus 3 square is equals to square root of 1. And if you do that, you are going to get x plus 3 for this one, while you are going to get 1 for this one. You are going to get plus or minus 1. So now to get the two values of x, you can see this type of question is giving you something straight. So x is going to be equals to minus 3 plus 1, or that is for the plus, minus 3 minus 1. So the value of x is going to give you minus 2. Minus 3 plus 1 will give you minus 2. Or minus 3 minus 1 is going to give you minus 4. So, and that is that. So we also have another type of question. So those, it depends, so that you not be saying I did not get a rational number, it's irrational number I'm getting. So you can get anything. It can even be decimal if you use your calculator. So so assuming you have this type of question, 2x squared minus 4x is equals to 6. So you have to solve this kind of question using completing the square method. So the first thing that we are going to do is that you make the coefficient of x squared here to be 1. So what are you going to do? You divide through by the common factor. The common factor here is that this 6 is divisible by 2. This 4 is divisible by 2 and 2. So let's do it. 2x squared divided by 2 minus 4x divided by 2 equals 6 divided by 2. So we are going to have x squared minus 2x equals 3. So the next thing is that you take the half of this. The half of minus 2 here is minus 1. So we are going to square it. So we are going to have x squared minus 2x plus minus 1 squared equals 3 plus minus 1 squared. So the next thing that you are going to do is that you are going to take this square and this, and so you are going to get rid of this. So you are going to have x minus 1 square is equals to 3 plus 1, because if you square 1, it's going to give you minus times minus, minus 1 times minus 1, it's going to give you plus 1. So we are getting 4 here. So if you now take the square root of the right hand side and the left hand side, you are going to have x minus 1 as the square root a, while the square root of 4 will give you plus or minus 2. So now, what's the value of x? The value of x will now be, x is going to be equals to, this one will come to this side. We are going to have plus 1 plus or minus 2. So therefore our x is going to be x equals 1 plus 2 or 1 minus 2. So here is going to be 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 minus 2 is minus 1. So and that is that. So let me give you another example to make my explanation clearer and understandable. We have, assuming we have 3x squared minus 12x plus 7 equals 0. So and you are asked that you should use completing the square method for this. So what I'm going to do is that just take this constant, take it to the right hand side. So you have 3x squared minus 12x. So when it reaches here, it's going to give you minus 7. So the next thing is that you divide this. Make sure that the coefficient of square here, x squared, is 1. So you divide 2 by 3. So it's going to give the 3x squared divided by 3 minus 12x divided by 3 equals minus 7 divided by 3. So you have x squared minus 4x, because minus 12 divided by 3 will give it minus 4x equals minus 7 over 3. The next thing is that the coefficient of x here is minus 4. You get out half of it. Half of it is minus 2. You square it and add it to both sides. So you have x squared minus 4x minus plus minus 2 squared is minus 7 over 3 plus minus 2 squared. So now, so it's going to be x squared minus 2 squared. So we are going to have, so what I'm going to do is I just get rid of this, ignore it. So you have x minus 2 squared equals, now let's expand this one, minus 7 over 3 plus minus 2 times minus 2 is going to give plus 4 over 1. So our LCM is 3, because the LCM of 3 and 1 should be 3. So 3 divided by 3, 1. 1 times 7 minus 7 plus 1 divided by 3, 3. 3 times 4 is going to give you 12. So we have minus 7 plus 12 give us plus 5 over 3. So here we have x minus 2 square is equals to 5 over 3. So we want to find the square root. If you take the square root of both sides, x minus 2 square equals square root of 5 over 3. So we have x minus 2 is equals to plus or minus 5 root of 5 over 3. So now our x is now going to be 2 plus or minus 5 over 3. So it means that x is going to be 2 plus root of 5 over 3 or 2 minus root of 5 over 3. So, and that is that. That's our how it's going to be. So now you can just lay your hands on these questions to know if you actually understand the concept or not. So you can lay your hands on this. X squared minus 10x plus 9 is equal to 0, and 2x squared plus 8x minus 10 is equal to 0. So, and That is that. Have a nice day. Bye.